air temperature was 48 degrees and the sea surface temperature was 45 degrees.
Welcome back to Chaos Corner.
Report from Central
Here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel.
The report from Ledge Light was not
On Solar Eclipse Day 2024, April 8th.
Reports on Long Island Sound.
On the road with your old buddy, the GOC. We're going to take a burst up and down some of the major throughways and fairways here, so stand by.
Was west at 6 miles
And we're
an hour.
following all of the road rules, seat belted in, the whole 9 yards, not any handheld devices, but as you can hear, the emergency systems in the background. So stand by. Clouds are getting wispy, still nice and sunny out. 60 degrees. Hold on, baby. Woo! Full speed ahead. Uh-oh. Will we be hitting a construction zone, which you know is everywhere in every state, and it looks like we're running into construction as soon as we get on. That's all right. It'll give us time for content.
Do not drive through flooded roadways. Here is the official National Weather Service.
Listening to the National Weather Service forecast. That's what you get here. One man, unique, unedited, raw dog for you, the fans.
West winds 5 to 10 miles
Let me
per
calm
hour.
down. I already had 2 cups of coffee.
Cloudy. Lows in the mid-40s. Southwest winds around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny.
A major fairway and throughway here. Smaller than 95, which is the big one from all up and down the East Coast from Florida to Canada.
Tuesday night.
I understand that. This is the secondary route, which everyone uses to pass through to New York City into New England. The license plate here on this road, you'll see everything from New York to New Jersey to Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Georgia, Florida, Manitoba, Nova Scotia.
Southeast winds 5 to 10
Unbelievable the amount of traffic and population throughout this area and the greater New England tri-state northeast area and the shadows of Titan Towers. You got to be careful. You have to drive semi-offensive and not to offend anybody. You know what I'm talking about. Or maybe even be defensive. You got to go with the flow of traffic. And up here in the northeast, it's certainly not 65 miles an hour. Try more like 80, 85 miles an hour. That's why you have to stay aware.
Chance of rain 90%. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of showers. Lows in the mid-40s. Saturday, partly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s. Saturday night, partly cloudy in the evening.
Let's jump off this way.
Lows in the lower 40s. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-60s. Here is the air
And of course, there's always somebody tailgating you. That's another thing that you can count on in this area. It's somebody's always going to be tailgating you.
This is good.
That's the part I don't like about the Northeast. Although I've grown up in this area, as I always say,
This is good.
I like Southern people and their way of life, and a little more laid back, a little more. I've been down to South many times. Love it down there, but of course, family and friends and roots are here. But just so much slower pace of life. Not the rat race that it is in the Northeast, although everywhere has become a rat race. It sure has. Stand by, fans. Always check that blind spot. Use your signals. And maybe I could start teaching people how to drive. The Chaos Driving School. What do you think about that? And I have the weather station on right now because we want to see what it is going into the solar eclipse. It's almost 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. So it's getting ready to come through Pennsylvania, upstate New York, into the Niagara Falls area, Maine, so on and so forth, Rochester, New York, where it's supposed to be a little more visible and less cloudy. And as I predicted, the manipulated clouds are now covering up here in this area. We're not that far from the coast either. Stand by. Stand by. Thanks for being here, guys. Much love and respect. And remember, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, You need to stay fit. I'm doing my best too. Hey, I'm human. Let me lower some of this wind. Watch out for the solar winds because they're coming. And they're going to be strong. And I'm not talking about today's eclipse. I'm talking about in general. Do your research. Do your due diligence on no matter what it is. Whether it's pro wrestling, history, life, the military, what's the current state of affairs, the weather. Do your research. I can't tell you enough. Go out and find for yourself. Use your own discernment. It's good to listen to other people and get advice and suggestions and opinions and viewpoints. Right? That's what we're all about. Yeah, I know. When you're in this view, you get to see the proboscis. I get it. If I was to tilt my head all the way back, my nostrils would look like a 2-car garage. I understand that. You could probably grab me by my ankles, hold me up, have me breathe in, and I'd be a perfect vacuum cleaner. I understand. Scared of rats off cheesecake, make onions cry. They say the camera puts 10 pounds on you. Well, all right, so maybe you put 25 on me. A little self-deprecation never hurt anybody. Traffic not brutal, but again, we're not as close as my neighbors are here to the eclipse. Again, the wispy clouds that were sprayed, and there's no two ways about it, I've been seeing it since this morning, have now clouded it up here on the East Coast. In the greater New England tri-state Northeast area. Just want to give you guys a little feeling of being on the road. A little ride along with the GOC. Big Daddy. Well, that's me. All right, guys, stand by. Let's see what we can get into here.
Thursday night, south winds 20 to 30 knots.
Stand by, we get into a little more traffic zone area, a little more civilized. So I have to act civilized. I know the Weather Channel in the back's a little annoying, but I don't think I'm going to pick up any conversations on the CB, even with the antenna right now as I'm traveling through here. And again, in this area, not too far away, we have 2 monster 5G cell towers, I guess you want to call them, if that's the right term. And then we're going to go up the big mountain and see if I can get off over towards the ponds and lakes in the area, the paths. Maybe you'll see me I'll get out and do a little walk around. This is part 2. Solar Eclipse Day, April 2024, April 8th to be exact. To put the time stamp on it. And I'm not too far from the homestead, which is a beautiful thing. So stand by. Don't go anywhere. Part 2. On the road. All right, hold on. We're about to climb the elevation, so if my ears start popping or my eyes bug out, well, you're not going to see that, or the beard stands up. Just realize we're going up an elevation here right now. I'm not sure of the incline, but it is a steep one. You'll see as we go up. We don't want any copyrights or screw with the algorithm. And we are in the Constitution State, in case you want to know where I'm coming from. Between Boston and New York City. If you get caught between the moon and New York City, I know it's crazy, but it's true. No? Too early? Too late? Can't see it? Oh, who am I, John Cena? You saw him last night at WrestleMania 2, but you can't see me. And you're not going to be able to see the eclipse either. Woo! Stand by, fans. Don't go anywhere. This is the ride along. I hope you got your lunch.
Southwest winds at 12 knots were reported. The air temperature was 48 degrees and the sea surface temperature was
a like, subscribe, smash that elbow, I rake it. as we're coming out of WrestleMania 40, nights 1 and night 2. You guys do know the results here. This is a pro wrestling channel, but we do cover everything, but basically pro wrestling. We know that The Rock and Roman Reigns went over on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins on night 1, which set up the bloodline rules for night 2, with Cody taking on the champion Roman Reigns. And we know what happened there. Everybody got involved, from The Undertaker to John Cena to The Rock to Solo Sikoa to Jimmy and Jay Uso. I mean, it really was, as the kids say, a banger. A lot of people thought Stone Cold was going to show up. And no matter who you listen to, that would have been a cool idea. But I'm hearing he either didn't want to go, and that's why the Taker was inserted, which really makes no sense because storyline-wise, it was a total clusterfuck, but entertaining, and I certainly enjoyed it. I'll give night 1 a 7 out of 10. Some solid matches. Shocked that Walter, whatever you want to call him, lost to Sami Zayn. Definitely stunned about that. Cody ate the pin. I think it was Cody, right? You know what Bully Ray said to me back in 05, 06 when we were going for the NWA World Tag Team titles. Myself and the Outcast Killers against the Dudleys, Team 3D for the NWA World Tag Team titles in a series, as I said, of tables matches. He said to me backstage, yeah, and I took the what's up. He said to me, give the Guardian of Chaos 5 spots and he'll fuck up 4 of them. I consider that to be a compliment. Coming from Bully Ray. And look, the different pastures out here and parks, where it's in rock areas. It's people are outside, even in this area. As I drive through the orchards and the pastures here.
Here is the extended forecast. Thursday.
Stand by, guys. Don't go anywhere. This is part 2. The ride-along during the solar eclipse.
Thursday night, showers. Locally heavy rainfall possible.
Let's check it out. So you remember what I'm talking about there as I screwed up and how I always refer to Bully Ray and what he said to me, and it was an honor. You saw Bully Ray as a referee. Let me pull in off over here. Hold on, guys.
Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of showers. Lows in the mid-40s. Saturday, partly sunny. Highs in the upper
What was the purpose, too, of
Saturday night,
Seth Rollins showing up as the Shield? I know the whole connection there. I get it. And I know we're not really talking about wrestling right now, especially with Raw coming up tonight, the after WrestleMania Raw. And then, of course, Wednesday on Dynamite for AEW, there's going to be a lot of things talked about as they review or show actual footage from Wembley after this whole Punk and Helwani interview. TK's trying to shoot back, but I don't know, man. Little conjecture here on the solar eclipse day. You see we're out in a wooded area right now. I want you guys to get a catch. I got to get different views to see if there's any way we're going to be able to see this thing. I personally don't think so. So stand by. Should get a better view. Stand by. Let me lower this. Don't be distracted. I see a lot of people on bikes too. Again, we are now off the main thoroughfare, which isn't that far away, fans, and we are in a secluded area.
For Tuesday night, east winds around 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Chance of showers after midnight.
So stand by here.
Island sound. For today, west winds 5 to 10 knots.
Don't go anywhere.
For tonight, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots.
Let's see if we can listen. We're further away from the train stations and the tracks, going through a northeast corridor here, and we are further away from the huge trucking area. So stand by. Let's see what we get here. All right, this is part 2. I'm not sure if I'll have a part 3. We're at 2:35 Eastern Standard Time on Solar Eclipse 2024.
Here is the tide information. At Bridgeport, high tide is at 11:36.
I stand by. Put up with the technical difficulties, please. It's for me, the GOC. You see, I have my Eclipse shirt on today.
London, high tide is at 9:34 a.m. Monday, 9:58 p.m. Monday, and 10:20.
Stand by for all the static, please. I got the squelch set. Still new to, well, not new. I'm trying to refresh myself with this. Full throttle as far as reception. I feel like the professor in Back to the Future, McFly. I should have mounted the big one on top of the Lincoln. One Adam 12, the UF killer is out. I always enjoyed the handles, even as a kid on these stations. Got a lot more channels out here. Less interference. God bless, that's right. Different languages. That's what you get here in the United States of America, right? No one has to assimilate to our way of life or our culture. Right? That's why everybody comes here. It's another story for another time in the invasion of what's going on. That's why I always say stay aware, situational awareness, discernment. I say it all the time. I said it in the first part. I'll say it here on the second part. And I'll probably say it if there's a third part. Different locations around the greater New England tri-state northeast area, from the city area by the train tracks, by the rivers, by the trucking stations, to now further out here a little bit more towards airports and the pastures and the orchards and the trails. That's what you get here. Different viewpoints I want to give you and see where we could come in and learn things, look up in the sky and see what's going on here on this day. Maybe I need to get a little stronger system. No me jodas, maricón, muévete el culo, pendejo. What I say, me llamo, de nada, me llamo, ¿qué haces? Come we can lighten up, man. Don't be so sensitive. Thank God I can understand some of it. A lot of traffic on the radios, on the CBs, on the ham radios, technical-wise, the internet. A lot of traffic going on, whether it's solar energy coming down, the effects of the eclipse. It's clouding up here as predicted, although still partly sunny. Stand by, fans. Don't stand by. Stand by here. This is what you get here on this channel. A little diversion from pro wrestling. That's good to know that you can communicate in several languages, right? This is the United States of America. Again, picking up twice the stations and sounds, but not as clear. This is just a test run, a trial run. Back down here to Texas. At the emergency broadcast station. All right, fans, stand by.
West winds around 5 knots, becoming south in the afternoon. Seas 1 foot or less. And for Tuesday night, east winds around 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Chance of showers after midnight. The marine forecast for western Long Island Sound. For today, west winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. For tonight, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. For Tuesday, west winds around 5 knots, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Seas 1 foot or less. And for Tuesday night, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming east 10 to 15 knots after midnight. Seas 1 foot or less. Slight chance of showers in the evening, then chance of showers after midnight. Here is the tide information. At Bridgeport, high tide is at 11:36 p.m. Monday and 11:55 p.m. Monday. Low tide is at 5:49 p.m. Monday and 6:24 a.m. Tuesday. At New London, high tide is at 9:34 a.m. Monday, 9:58 p.m. Monday, and 10:23 a.m. Tuesday. Low tide is at 4:02 p.m. Monday and 4:43 p.m.
Stand by, guys.
At Newport, high tide is at 8:31 p.m. Monday and 8:57
Stand by here on Chaos
Low
Corner.
tide is at 1:40 p.m. Monday and 2:32 a.m. Tuesday.
The question is,
Here are the 2 p.m. observations.
what happens after the solar eclipse for the next distraction? Look over here, don't look over there. Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure that this Friday I will be live on the air on the Hey Roma podcast. That's right, Hey Roma, with Pretty Paul Roma and his co-host Mario Mancini. Roma Nation and the Mancini Maniacs. But here's the caveat. Roma will be out of the country in Germany. So I will be sitting in for Roma Nation and Pretty Paul Roma, you know, 4 Horsemen, Power and Glory, Pretty Wonderful, Young Stallions, WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden. Does it get any better? Head trainer at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. I will be sitting in and reuniting with my former podcast co-host and partner, Mario Mancini, the owner of Paradise Alley. So this Friday, I believe it's either 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Hey Roma, the podcast. We'll be covering everything, current events to pro wrestling, and of course, a little chicanery. All right, let's get back on the road here. Let's get back on the road. Stand by. I'm going to leave the weather. I know it's boring with the Weather Channel. Stand by. I want to give different vantage points. All right, this is part 2 on Solar Eclipse Day live on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel with the GOC.
The air temperature was 48 degrees and the sea surface temperature was 45 degrees. The report from Central Long Island Sound was not available. The report from Ledge Lake was not available.
I don't need it. I don't need these yet.
Coastal weather shore reports on Long Island Sound is available.
Look, as we look up into the sky.
Temperature was 59 degrees. Wind was west at 6 miles an hour. At Mount Sinai,
It's definitely starting to cloud
wind
up.
was northwest at 2 miles an hour. At Norwalk, wind was southwest at 14 miles an hour. Coastal flood statement in effect from this evening through late tonight. What? Up to
I should have bought the bigger high-powered ones. All right, stand by, guys. We're back on the road. We got to follow all the rules here. Let's see if we can go find another location. Listen, we're coming up on 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's in the area. I got to do a little research. I'll be right back. Let's get off the road to the next location. Again, remember where we are.
Additional rounds of localized minor flooding is likely through mid to late week. Do not drive through flooded roadways. Here is the official National Weather Service forecast for Southwest Connecticut. This afternoon, mostly sunny.
Guys, thanks for being here. I can't thank you enough. A little entertainment, a little reality.
Mostly cloudy.
Remember, there's three types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the GOC Big Daddy that make things happen. And I'll give you a little wind here, a little feel for the air. I guess the air temperature's got to be about 60 here today. Tomorrow's supposed to be 70. And again, as I look up into the skies, it's partly cloudy, very thin cloud cover. See a couple of nice bikes on the road too as well. And people are out here looking up. There's people set up with cameras and telescopes. It's something to see here in the local areas. Again, this is off the beaten path as I still see some chemtrails. Stand by, guys. Stand by.
Here is the extended forecast. Thursday, showers. Highs in the upper 50s. Chance of rain 90%. Thursday night, showers.
As we listen to the local weather forecast for the greater New England tri-state northeast area, I'll get to the next location. We'll be back. The first one is on premiere right now, part one, about 30 minutes. A little entertainment as well. This is part two. We're coming up on probably close to 30 minutes as well. I don't want to be distracted. Although I guess you could say by talking I'm distracted, but I have like, I don't know, 6 sets of eyes on the road. Stand by, stand by.
In the upper 50s. Saturday night, partly cloudy in the evening, then clearing. Lows in the lower 40s. Sunday.
Nice to see our local law enforcement is on patrol here. I see him off to the side of the road. I like to see that. Love law enforcement. You know I am retired law enforcement, and that is beautiful to see, I gotta say. I'll say that to say this. Little wave to our local men. Gotta love it.
Connecticut forecast air quality index is 33. This is good.
Air quality index, they're saying, is good.
From New Haven and Port Jefferson east to the mouth of the Connecticut River in Oriental.
Talking about the Connecticut River, Long Island Sound, Port Jeff.
Seas 1 foot or less.
The New Groton Naval Sub Base.
Seas 1 foot or less.
Again, remember where we are. An hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half tops into the city, into Manhattan, and probably a little over 2 hours, about 2.5 hours into Beantown, downtown Boston. A stone's throw from Jersey, a couple hours, and probably not more than 3 or 4 hours from Philadelphia. Some people will say 5, depending. So remember where you are. Not even that far up the loop and up the drive 5+ hours to Montreal, Quebec, Niagara Falls, Gunquit in Maine, and even down to DC. We're not that far. Who the fuck would want to go there? Certainly not me. All right, guys, stand by, stand by. I'll be back for part 3. Don't go anywhere.